guys. Almost forgot about you today. I've been having a little bit of a private party here with my little buddy. It is way too late to be shooting and way too early to be in the condition I'm in. But you know what? I gotta talk to you guys. I gotta talk to you guys about Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is probably the most important Halloween movie you can watch. And that counts Halloween. You know, with John Carpenter, where, you know, that Cat in the Hat guy's running around stabbing people. Shit. Alright. I'm alright. No, it's one of those movies. Any Halloween would not be complete without. So I'm gonna fucking talk about it a little bit. Hocus Pocus, if you don't know it, which I know like one person that doesn't know Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is about these, well, it's not really necessarily about them, but they steal the fucking show. The Sanderson sisters, the Sanderson sisters, Sarah, Mary, and Winifred, who are played by Carrie from Sex and the City, Peggy from King of the Hill, and Bette Midler, you know, the greatest, Bette Midler. Head hurts a little bit. But where is it? There it is. This will help. Okay. Prop that up. They're these witches from like the 17th century. And they get brought back to life. Because, you know, they killed some people. They did some shit. They get brought back to life when this little shitbird named Max, he's like a teenager, he lights this thing called the Black Flame Candle, which is in their museum. And that brings them back to life. And, you know, they're trying to steal the souls of all the children in Salem to give themselves eternal youth. And Sam and his little sister and his lady that he's taken a shine to, named Allison, they are trying to stop them from doing shitty things in Salem, Massachusetts. That's obviously just a quick overview. The movie itself, it's a Disney movie. Got a limited release when it first came out, but it has, since my generation became adults, they have taken the fuck off when it comes to recognition and praise for the movie. And ordinarily, I would say that I don't really have nostalgia shades for things where, you know, you remember something really fondly from when you were a kid, but, you know, it's actually not that good. Hocus Pocus is a different thing entirely. Hocus Pocus has only gotten better with age, and it is the Halloween movie to watch. There's only one bad thing about the movie, and that is Max's little sister, Danny. She's like 7, and I've noticed a bit of a pattern here. Whenever I'm talking about little girls in witch costumes in these Halloween specials, I always tend to use the term huge bitch. Danny is no exception. Danny is a huge bitch to everybody. From, you know, trying to cockblock her brother to, just randomly having a crying fit in somebody's yard because he won't fight somebody. By the way, the people that she wants him to fight are a couple of guys that steal the show. there's this little dude that kind of looks like Heath Ledger combined with Garth from Wayne's World, and his buddy Ernie, who goes by Ice. And they're the neighborhood bullies, and they really steal the goddamn show because they're just huge assholes and such stereotypical bullies. And while I'm thinking about it, this is just something that needs to be said. Since I was talking about someone being a huge bitch a few minutes ago, Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, I said it. Rosie O'Donnell actually was offered the role of Mary Sanderson, who is the big oafish sister. Kathy Nashimi, Peggy from King of the Hill, she did a wonderful job. She is probably my favorite out of the sisters. But, Rosie O'Donnell turned down the part because she didn't want to, and I quote, play some scary old witch. That is my impression of Rosie O'Donnell, Christopher Lloyd, and Richard Nixon. All three of them. Very interchangeable people. Oh. That's awful. Anyway, I got kind of off track there. Sarah is played by Sarah Jessica Parker, who is Carrie on Sex and the City. And she's just a delight. It was before she kind of fucked her face up with plastic surgery. So she's just out there being the prettiest thing in Massachusetts. And it's the way she plays Sarah that's just, I would almost say adorable, because she's just very enthusiastic about everything and very dim-witted. Winifred, who is Bette Midler, she's a more straightforward villain character while still having a great deal of comedic elements. But she's the one that casts magic spells to hurt people and everything like that. For example, one of our film's heroes, Thackeray, not Zachary. I was saying Zachary my whole life, and then one day I read it, and it was Thackeray. Thackeray Binks. They killed his little sister back in the 1600s, and they turned him into a cat. And he's still alive in the 90s when the movie when the movie happens. And he's trying to stop them and figure out how he can die and stuff like that. He sounds a lot like a character I would have written, except I wouldn't have made him a kitty. But Max himself, arguably the hero of our piece, he's a little shit stain. You do not watch this movie for the human characters. Well, not necessarily the human characters. For the mortal, not undead characters. You don't watch it for them. Because Max is just this little shitheel who's like 15, and apparently it matters that he's a virgin at 15, even though, that makes sense to me. But he's just this little shit stain that picks fights with, like, everyone, and he's super abrasive. Like, for example, he meets Allison in class. Like, for whatever reason, Halloween is his first day of class, and he just... Okay. Oof. Throw that back. For whatever reason, Halloween's like his first day of class, and he says something shitty about Halloween, and, don't say something shitty about Halloween when you live in Salem, Massachusetts. Just a fucking thought, Max, because, that might be a big draw for them, and he just, he pisses off everybody, and, like, Allison, the girl that he likes, she schools his ass on, like, the history of Halloween and things like that. And he thinks this is so fucking smooth. He walks up to her, and he's like, hey, just in case Jimi Hendrix stops by tonight, you can give him my phone number. And he gives her a piece of paper with his number on it. And it is not smooth shit. She totally burns him later by giving it back to him. It's awesome. And on his way home, he gets mugged by ice and not Heath Ledger in a delightful scene where, for whatever reason, they're just hanging out at the cemetery, and they take his shoes. They don't beat him up. They just take his shoes. And he manages to get a chance to get them back later after Ice is locked up in this cage. And I'm pretty sure they never get him out of the cage, now that I'm thinking about it. He's just always up there. Yeah, no, that's a weird detail that they actually address in the credits of the movie. That they're just still up in the cage. I know through all of my slurring through this, I have not really sounded like I like Hocus Pocus that much. That is wildly incorrect. I just nitpick a lot. It is one of my all-time favorite movies, not just Halloween related. Yep, that's right. That's right, it's one of my favorites. I like it a lot. Something weird in my teeth. But, no, everything about it is fantastic. The costume design is some of my favorite designs that you can find because the sisters, they're all color coordinated. The three of them obviously have a lot of good chemistry because they're cutting up all the time. And, like, the banter between them back and forth is fantastic. There's an obvious sisterly dynamic among them, and it all works out really well. It's very entertaining. Bette Midler makes a fantastic witch villain without being a huge stereotype. Like, she doesn't cackle ever. She's just very focused on what she's doing, and I think that was a really good choice. Plus, the beehive wig that they give her is top-notch. There's this one great sequence. Before I get into that, I also need to praise Doug Jones's performance. Doug Jones, who plays a lot of modern monsters. He's the Merman in Hellboy, and he plays Slender Man in something. He plays Slender Man. But he plays a little bit of everybody. He plays this fella named Billy Butcherson, who used to be Winifred's boyfriend, and she raises him up from the dead. And he does a great deal of emoting through the makeup, and his lips are sewn shut through most of the movie. And he does a remarkable job, just acting with his eyes for the most part, his eyes and his body language. And I think it was one of his first roles, too, so I can commend him for really bringing his A game out for that. Anyway, the one scene that I really wanted to talk about, it's after they bring the sisters back to life. They, the sisters, they're out looking for Max and Danny and Allison, because, later on they meet up with Allison, and Max stops trying so hard, and he's just himself, and girls like that. Anyway, so they're out looking for him after they've been brought back to life. And these trick-or-treaters are kind of scaring the hell out of them. Because, to the sisters, they look like little demons. But, they stop when they see this, one house. And, the guy that owns it is dressed like Satan. And, to them, they're old-school witches. That's the master, So, they go into Satan's house, and Satan and his wife are a pair of comedians. Their names are escaping me right now, but they're brother and sister. And they're just enjoying themselves in Satan's house, like ballroom dancing with him, just eating candy, looking at stuff, and Mary stops to, she's watching TV. She's been dead for 300 years. She's never seen TV before. And I love that sequence so much. Just because of this commercial of this baby running through the house, and she is just cracking the hell up. And it's one of those infectious laughs that really gets to you. I'm picturing it right now. I might, because, if you want to see the movie, you got a lot of fucking chances because it's on Freeform, which used to be ABC Family. It's on Freeform, and they show it around the fucking clock around this time of year. I'm pretty sure they're showing it twice on Halloween, but I may just post the baby running scene in the captions, not the captions, the comments on Facebook. But no, it's I can't say enough good things about Hocus Pocus. And I'm really glad that in recent years it has actually started to catch back on. Like, every article on BuzzFeed around this time of year is about it and how great it is. And that looks weird. Every article on BuzzFeed is about how great it looks and how great it is. And Walt Disney World has actually started acknowledging it. I'm going to roll this way because there was a really cold bar in my back. Walt Disney World has actually finally started acknowledging it and its popularity because they do this nonsense called Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party every year. They charge up the ass for it, but anyway, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. It's a costume party. Everyone comes out. They have a lot of fun. And they had a stage show, which has a bunch of the Disney villains, but the main MCs for it are the Sanderson sisters, and I've seen videos of it, and it's quite impressive. I'd love to actually see it for myself, but Disney World is expensive, and I am a starving artist who drinks during the day. So it does not take a goddamn scientist to figure out why I can't go to Disney World. And it's not just the day drinking, it's the money. Anyway, tomorrow, I should have sobered up enough by then to get that one done. I've talked about my Essential Halloween special. I've talked about my Essential Halloween movie, that was today. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about my Essential Halloween tradition. And it's a tradition that's been going on longer than I've been alive. It's the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. I'm gonna try and do like a top 10. I'm gonna fucking try to do a top 10. Because there are, as of this year, there are 81 segments, and I'm gonna try and narrow that down to 10. It's, I do not envy Sober Kyle for what he has to do. I do not. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go, because I got a feeling